Deepti Galaran is with me on the set to take a look at the papers today. Hi, Deepti.
Hi, Jeannie.
We're going to start in Russia, where the Kremlin's facing backlash over the high-profile arrest of an investigative journalist.
That's right. That journalist is Ivan Golunov. He's a high-profile journalist, as you said, Jeannie. He's sort of made a name for himself reporting on political corruption and organized crime. He was detained last week by the Ministry of Internal Affairs, officially charged with drug dealing, with the department even publishing photos purporting to show evidence of that drug dealing. Golunov is making the front page of this Polish paper today because, in fact, his family quickly debunked the photos, forcing Russian authorities to retract the photos and really their statement. The Washington Examiner, a conservative American magazine, notes that Golunov is actually one of the luckier ones. Other journalists, the paper says, the magazine says, have been gunned down, flung out of windows, or mysteriously shot in stairwells. The writer says it might be safer and more lucrative to be somebody like Dmitry Kiselyov, who is the Russian state TV presenter. But that's exactly why somebody like Ivan Golunov and his case is so important for the media.
And interestingly, in this case, there's been an overwhelming show of support for Golunov from the Russian media.
That's right. Kommersant, RBC, and Vedomosti, three well-known papers in Russia, published the same front page yesterday, we could say inspired by the Charlie Hebdo movement. We are Ivan Golunov, it says there, and they demanded a detailed investigation, in particular into the journalist's detention conditions amid reports that he was brutally beaten up.
Let's stay with the media theme now, and that extraordinary decision by the International New York Times to stop publishing daily political cartoons.
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary. This decision coming mainly to bring the paper in line with its domestic edition, which stopped running cartoons years ago, actually. The international edition has now ended its contracts with two prominent cartoonists, Hank Kim Song and Patrick Chapat, the Swiss cartoonist who worked with the Times for 20 years. Back in April, this cartoon that you see behind me, a caricature of Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump, was deemed anti-Semitic. It sparked a huge uproar and really was the impetus for this decision by the International New York Times. It has sparked the decision to end political cartoons has also really sparked criticism from cartoonists, including Patrick Chapat, who reacted online by republishing one of his old cartoons posted the day after the editorial team of the Charlie Hebdo magazine were slain in January 2015. Here it says, "Without humor, we are all dead."
Deepti, let's go now to India, where the country is literally in meltdown.
Yeah, billions of Indians are sweltering through a heat wave right now that may bring some relief tomorrow. Palam, that's a southwestern suburb of the capital, Delhi. They reached historically high temperatures of 48 degrees, Jeannie. Roads melted and air conditioners broke down. And with this high temperature comes the battle, the inevitable battle for water, further exacerbated by the divides between rich and poor in India. This is something that the Swiss paper Le Temps is looking at, reporting that the shortage of water has led to a gigantic black market run by the mafia. Around 20 to 25% of Delhi's water needs aren't being fulfilled right now.
Deepti, something completely different now. Some sports news, and French basketball player Tony Parker is retiring after a 20-year career, mostly in the NBA.
That's right. It's the end of an era. 37-year-old Parker has announced he's retiring, prompting L'Équipe, the French sports paper, to pay this adoring tribute to him. Parker was born in Belgium to an American father and a Dutch mother. He conquered the, quote, American dream, as L'Équipe says. That's the NBA, despite not being tall for a basketballer nor that muscular, but the paper says he brought a rapidity to the game that's been rarely seen. Tony Parker also inspired a generation of young French ballers, all hoping to get into the NBA now. You'll note that the paper there has actually changed its logo to pay tribute to the San Antonio Spurs, where Tony Parker spent most of his career and helped the team win championships.
Deepti, just to wrap up now, after Barcelona, Venice, and Amsterdam, Rome is cracking down on unruly tourists.
That's right. And mass tourism is definitely not in fashion right now, Jeannie. Local authorities in Rome are implementing more and more strict measures to protect the city. In Rome now, you cannot go topless anymore. That's a directive mainly aimed at shirtless men who wander around the city. Touching your lips to water fountains is also a no-no. Fines will be handed out to those who swim in Rome's fountains. You can also say bye-bye to eating a slice of pizza on the go because it's messy with the cheese and the tomato sauce falling all over. Locals also have been given strict instructions or rules, really. They'll no longer, for instance, be able to hang up their washing on lines connected between two buildings. A pretty unsightly sight.
It is, but it's part of the charm. I like that about Italy. All right. Thank you for that deep color on with that look at the press review today. Thanks to you for watching. Don't forget, if you want to see it again, you can always check out our website. The address is France24.com.